So, if you want to learn how to trade options, purchase my ebook located at wordly41.gumroad.com. And basically, how did I make $515 just trading a couple of SPY call options? So, basically, on the March 25th, 10:04, March 25th. Let's see. Okay. March 25th, 10:04, which is this candle right here. So basically, this candle I got into SPY call options on the 10:30 candle on the 30-minute time chart. Basically, as soon as I saw that SPY landed on the 20-day moving average, I entered into a small position of SPY call options, because the previous candle had used the 20-day moving average as support. So my guess was, okay, it's probably going to use the 20-day moving average as support, and that did happen. So within not within that same candle, but at 10:39, so literally the next candle, I sold out the position, which is 325. So basically, once this candle, the 11 candle on the 30-minute time chart, made it over. Wait, did I? Yeah, 11. Yeah. This one. So basically, once SPY made it over the 9-day moving average, I sold out the position, making a gain of $515 just trading a couple of SPY call options. So I also want to talk about the overall market. So on the 4-hour time chart, you can see that SPY has ever since February 24th. Yeah, February 24th, SPY has just been in a downtrend. SPY tried breaking above here near the 180-day moving average, couldn't. Then here on April 2nd, it failed. And then you can see that this candle right here on the April 7th tried breaking the the 20-day moving average, and it completely failed. And then somewhere around here, April 8th, it got above the 20-day moving average, but it looks like, I guess, volume wasn't sufficient there, so SPY started crashing down. And then with the news of what is it called? What is it? I think the United States wants to impose a 104% tariff charge on all Chinese products. So basically, starting tomorrow, this new tariff that the U.S. government is going to impose on China will be somewhere around 104%. So it's probably going to send the overall market, in a spiral, towards the downtrend more tomorrow. So we will see possible more downside from the market, because obviously what's going on is that tariffs, there's no clear negotiations. There's a couple of countries that have already, that have started the process of negotiating with, the United States, right? But there is, Canada, there's China, that aren't, wanting to negotiate with the United States, right? So basically, these, Canada, China is retaliating. I don't know how you say it, but basically they're, gonna bring their own tariffs against us. And then since we're not liking how these tariffs are looking for us, right, basically the United States is probably gonna, try to implement higher tariffs on, on China or Canada or any other country that decides to retaliate against our tariffs that we have, on, against them. So basically, it's not looking so good for the overall economy. But in a way, I do feel like if you are a long-term investor, right, this is the opportunity that you want to take into now, because basically these opportunities that are happening right now, which are, like the S&P 500 is now worth, 496, right? All the way from 611, right? At one point it was worth 611. Now a SPY share is worth 496. So, if I were to invest, as a beginner, right? Me personally, I would just, start investing into the S&P 500, right? Another thing that I would take into consideration would be looking at meaningful, mega cap stocks, right? That would be anywhere from like Microsoft, Meta, Nvidia, Google, SPY. Well, SPY is the S&P 500, but Amazon, Tesla, and Apple. Those would be the kind of like an example of mega cap stocks that I would take into consideration, because due to the fact that, look at Apple right now. Apple, all the way from 259 at one point, is now worth 172, right? Tesla at one point was worth 488, now it's worth 221. Amazon at one point was worth $242, now it's worth $170. SPY, we already talked about SPY. Google at one point was worth $206 worth a share, now it's worth $144 a share. Nvidia at one point was worth $153, now Nvidia is worth $96. Meta at one point was worth $740, now it's worth $510 or $503 now after hours, right? And then Microsoft at one point was worth $465, now it's worth $354. And so you basically kind of get the point, right? These companies are suffering a huge impact due to all this uncertainty that's going on around the world, right? Negotiations with tariffs. Some countries are negotiating, some countries are negotiating a deal with us, right? So right now, this uncertainty is bringing, people to, panic sell, which in a way kind of sucks, because most people don't know that if you hold onto, let's say a stock for the long term, let's say like a healthy mega cap stock, right? Like, like the example that I showed you, right? It's a possibility that those stocks that are suffering the most right now, that, that are valuable, like mega cap stocks, well, not 100%, because I can't predict the future, right? But there's a possibility that, since those stocks have been around for a long time, there's a possibility that those stocks will, give you a nice return in the next 1 or 2 years, right, from where we're at right now. So basically, try to take advantage of the market. I do have a watch list if you guys want to take into consideration. I have Broadcom, Salesforce, Nvidia, Alphabet, or Google, Bank of America, Oracle, NVO, TSM, Tesla, and Apple. And the Magnificent Seven is a pretty good list of stocks that you could look into if you're starting to start investing for the long term. So that's pretty much it. Hopefully you guys did well buying some stock, not stock options, but stocks for the long term. And yeah, that's pretty much it. I'll see you guys in the next video. I'll keep you guys updated with more trading options. And yeah, that's pretty much it. I'll keep you guys updated. I'll see you guys in the next video. As always, take care. And as always, this is not financial advice. As always, take care. Bye.